Good afternoon and welcome to Great Plains ACAC Virtual College Fair. We're here to share some more information with you about some colleges today. Remember that during this college fair, your camera and microphone are off, so the best way to communicate with the colleges will be the Q&A button that's on your screen below. Also, remember there are other sessions that'll be going on, so please sign up for those as well. Because you're part of this particular session today, you will be able to receive a recording of this event at strivescan.com/GPACAC. So now I'm going to turn things over to our first college of the day, which is Creighton University.
All right, thank you very much, John. Appreciate that. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our virtual session today. I have the honor to go first. Hopefully I will set the table in a way that has you learn both about Creighton University and can give you kind of some sense of what you're going to get from the other wonderful institutions in our session today. So thank you all for being here. My name is Chris Slocum. I am one of 14 different counselors on staff at Creighton. I'm an assistant director of admission. I work primarily with students actually from Nebraska, the Dakotas, and then New England. But regardless of where you're from, if you're from Oklahoma, from Kansas, no matter where in Nebraska, there's an individual counselor in Creighton's office to help guide you through this process. And some of you might know a lot about Creighton already. Some of you might have heard about us, might have seen us on ESPN perhaps. We made the Sweet 16 earlier this year with men's basketball. But I want to kind of give you a sense for kind of who we are, what we do, give you a sense of, if you're interested, what the next steps are. So real quick, from the top on, from a bird's eye view, we're a mid-sized university of about 4,600 or 4,500, excuse me, undergraduate students. We're sitting just under 9,000 total students. So we are firmly and proudly in the medium-sized category. And essentially what that means is we have features of both a large school and a small school. About 80% actually of our students, just over 8 in 10 of our students at Creighton are from outside of the state. And I think part of the reason why that is because we are a mix of small in some sense and large in others. You heard me mention ESPN with a big athletic footprint, Division I athletics, right? We have a medical school and a dental school and a law school, big research facilities. That's how we're like a large school. We're like a small school, though, in our day-to-day academic life and practice, right? If you like small class sizes, but don't necessarily want to go to a small college, Creighton might be a good fit for you that way. We're one of 27 Jesuit universities, Catholic Jesuit universities in the United States. Only about 55% of our students identify as Catholic. So regardless of your faith background, if you have any faith background, it's a welcoming atmosphere. Again, we welcome students from all over the United States. And we've had traditional strengths in a variety of disciplines. Our largest college is the College of Arts and Sciences, where you're going to find some of our excellent health sciences programs in the humanities. We've long been known as a university that does health sciences and science research and humanities research really, really well. Hyder College of Business is actually our fastest growing college on campus, including new majors in finance and technology, data science, business analytics, and business intelligence. And so regardless of kind of what you're interested in, whether you're in health sciences, traditional liberal arts, and business, you're likely to find something at Creighton. And we're very different from a lot of schools in the sense that, again, our average class size is in the low 20s, but we have a full-fledged dental school and law school and medical school. And we were the first university in the United States a few decades ago to offer doctorate programs in occupational therapy and physical therapy. So even in business and education, there's a lot of pre-professional students at the university. And we actually formalized this process at Creighton by giving preferential admission consideration to Creighton undergraduates for admission into things like our medical school, our dental school, our PT program. And so we prepare students to become really good applicants regardless of where they apply. And they're going to apply all over the country for professional school. But there's a significant preference that we give our own students for admission into our own professional programs. And that kind of mid-sizedness in terms of undergrad experience and how it flows into the professional options is indeed one of the things that distinguishes Creighton. You heard me mention this earlier. We've long been one of the top universities in this area of the country for undergraduate research, particularly in the sciences. There's a lot of students at Creighton that geek out on aspects of brain chemistry and what does that do to psychology, right? The difference or the similarities, or the relationship rather, between things like food deserts in cities and domestic violence, right? What are the relationships between potentially two disparate things, right? There's a lot of students that want to tackle those questions at Creighton. 80% of our students come from out of the state, so it's not exactly easy for students to get home every single weekend, even if they wanted to. Creighton is not high school 2.0. It is one of those schools that you're going to find a ton of stuff to do on the weekends, whether it be fine arts, intramural sports, multicultural organizations. We're actually one of the only Catholic Jesuit universities in the United States to actually have fraternity and sorority life as well. So a whole abundance of social options, both on campus, off campus. One of the big student events obviously are going to be the athletic programs. Volleyball is typically top 20 in the country. Here's a picture of one of our men's basketball games. Our men's basketball attendance has been in the top 5 in the United States for the last handful of years. So it's really exciting if you like athletics as well, and it engenders a certain type of campus spirit. We all bleed blue to a certain extent. We're located in Omaha, Nebraska. Many of you have probably been to Omaha, even if haven't been on our campus. You likely know that we're a foodie city, not just for steaks, right? But like for really good Thai and vegan and Greek and Italian and all these different, like Omaha has a ton of really cool options. It is a true city. And Creighton is actually just on the north side of downtown. So we have our own section of the city where you're on our campus and you're on our campus. But if you just peer around a building, we're right next to downtown. And so it's very, very easy to get where all those activities are taking place. In my last 20 seconds here, I just wanted to quickly reiterate a lot of the things that we look at. I look at all the applications from my territory. We look first and foremost at GPA, grade trends over time, your essay. We are test optional school. Here are some middle 50% ACT, SAT, GPA. Again, a lot of different factors that we look at when considering an application, including your interest potentially in some of our global scholars, freshman leadership programs, Scott Scholars. Let us know if you have questions about any of this. The main deadline to remember is December 1st, and I'm looking forward to hearing from some of you in the question and answer session following. Thanks, everybody.
Christopher, thank you so much for the information. That was great, great stuff. Next, we're going to have Dakota from Iowa State University.
Thank you, John. Hello, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen here for you all. All right, hopefully that's coming through okay. Hi, everyone. Once again, my name is Dakota. I'm a senior admissions counselor with Iowa State University. Happy to be here with you all to share a little bit with you today about Iowa State. We are located in Ames, Iowa, which is centrally located within the state of Iowa, about 30 minutes north of Des Moines, which is the capital of the state. The population of Ames is about 60,000, and we've got just under 31,000 students enrolled, with 28,000 of those being undergraduate students. So Ames has been voted as one of the best college towns in the US. There's always something going on. And as an institution, we make up about half of the population of the city that we're located within. So it's definitely very much a college town. To put things into perspective, just kind of show where we're at more locally. So again, very centrally located within the Midwest. We are about 3 hours from Omaha, so not too far from Creighton, as you just heard from, about 3-ish hours from Kansas City, 6 to Chicago, St. Louis, etc. So you are close to some other larger major cities as well within the Midwest. So if you do like to explore other areas, that could be a great kind of opportunity that you have as a student at Iowa State. So as you are beginning your college search, whether you are a senior or a junior, whatever that looks like for you right now, why should you be considering Iowa State? Iowa State is home to the first public veterinary school in the nation. So if you're looking to be pre-vet, it could definitely be a great spot for you to continue to exploring. We've got top ranked programs in areas like engineering, agriculture, and business. Those are our 3 main areas that we are known for. We do have a 91% placement rate for our graduating students. So within 6 months, 91% of our students are either employed in full-time positions or are continuing to their next educational step in either graduate or professional school. We do host some of the largest career fairs in the nation. So not only will you be set up for success in the classroom at Iowa State, you're also going to be set up for success outside of Iowa State. When you take that first internship or that first job out of graduation, we want to be there to support you with that. We've got companies that come from all over the world, specifically to Ames, to recruit our students because they know the caliber of education that they're receiving. We enroll students from all 50 states and over 100 different nations. So we do very much have a diverse student body as well. Outside of the classroom, there's always something going on for students. With 900 clubs and organizations on campus, our students are getting involved in clubs and leadership opportunities across campus, whether that looks like getting involved in something related to your academic area of study or even just something that you have as an interest area for a hobby. We have study abroad programs on all 7 continents, and in a normal year, we'll send a little over 1,000 students abroad each year on those varying programs. We have students that stay active in our intramural sports program through rec services and also have an honors program for those of you that might be interested in that as well. We have 100 different majors at Iowa State, again, well known for agriculture, business, and engineering, but we have 100 different other options for you to choose from. So genetics, dietetics, world language, journalism, public relations, and the list goes on there. So we would love to talk to you a little bit more about what your major pathway could look like at Iowa State. On your screen right now are the criteria for admissions. This is what you will need to have completed by the time you graduate high school. If you are looking for a major within our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences or engineering, you will want to make a note of those additional requirements at the bottom of your screen, mostly in terms of social studies in that 2 years of a single foreign language. Now, once you've met those requirements, how do we determine your admissibility? So we utilize something called the Regent Admission Index, or the RAI formula. One thing to make note of for those of you that are seniors that would be entering in fall of 22, we are test optional for the upcoming academic year, meaning that you can apply to Iowa State and be considered for our merit-based scholarships without taking or sending us any form of test score. So definitely something to keep in mind. If you do apply with a test score, we're going to use that RAI formula on your screen there, where we'll look at your score, your GPA, and the number of year of courses that you've taken in those core areas from the previous slide. If you score a 245 or higher, you're automatically admitted, no question. If you apply without test scores, we're going to move to that red box with that information and do an individual academic review, where we're looking at your transcript, the courses that you've taken, and really kind of focusing on that portion of your record. Again, 245 on the RAI, you're automatically admitted, no questions. 244 or below doesn't necessarily mean you won't be admitted. It just means that we're going to go to that individual review process as well. All right. Our application process, pretty straightforward. You can apply online via the website or the Common App. There is a $40 fee. If that is a barrier to your ability to apply, please reach out to me. We can defer that fee to a later date. Most of our students do have their admissions decision within 24 to 48 hours. So definitely something that kind of moves your process along a little bit quicker when applying for us. And then after you apply to Iowa State and have been offered admission, you're then able to view our scholarship portal called One App. And those are additional scholarships that you would have access to apply to outside of the merit-based awards from the Office of Admissions. We will not need anything official in terms of transcripts from you until after you have officially graduated. So all of the information on your application is self-reported. But once you do graduate, or if you have any discrepancies on the way that your courses were reported, you can send us those official or unofficial transcripts as well. For those of you that might be juniors on the call, you might be interested in checking out the Cyclone Advantage Planning Program, or CAP. It's a great tool that doesn't lock you into Iowa State. It's completely free, but it does allow you to explore our institution a little bit more in depth to give you a little bit more information about what your time at Iowa State could look like. In my last 20 seconds here, I want to show you my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me via email or phone call or text message. Would love to connect with you and look forward to talking with you all in the Q&A a little bit later. Thanks, y'all.
Dakota, thank you so much. Next, we're going to have Highland Community College.
Hello, let me go ahead and get my screen shared. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Stephanie Peterson. I am Director of Admissions here at Highland Community College, and so it's nice for you all to join us on this Sunday afternoon. So a little bit about Highland Community College. We have a lot of wonderful options for students. So our main campus is located in Northeast Kansas. And so we are about an hour from Kansas City, so not too far. We're a couple hours from Omaha. So we as well are just situated right here in the Midwest. So that's a great option for students who want that traditional college experience. And we do have other locations as well including an online options for students if that's what you're looking for. So a little bit about us by the number. So overall, as a college, we have about 2,500 students, whether that be our main campus, our regional locations, and online. Our Highland campus, which is where our traditional campus is located, we have about 400 students who live in campus housing here. So that does give you, again, an idea of our size. But we have students from across the nation as well as international students here on campus. And so even though you're here in the Midwest, in the center of it all, you do get to experience other students and cultures to really get that full college experience. Most of our class sizes are small, so most of them are 20 to 25 students. So again, that's a huge advantage for students to get to know their instructors and for their instructors to get to know them. So we don't want you to just be a number, we want you to have that personal experience. Over 80% of our students have a scholarship here at Highland, and that's a really wonderful thing. And so we always tell students, we want you to have a scholarship, we provide those scholarships, and then it's up to students to keep those scholarships. And so we want to make college affordable and accessible to all students. So while we're talking cost, here's a cost comparison just to some of our local colleges kind of in our neck of the woods. And you can see our cost comparison there to others around us is very affordable. And so that's for the year, about $9,600. Our cost for tuition fees, and we do book rental here at Highland, it's $120 a credit hour. So whether you're face-to-face here on the Highland campus or if you're taking online classes from the convenience of your own home, it's all that same cost. No out-of-state cost as well here at Highland. So in-state, out-of-state, same rate. So I do want to just make it known, of course, students may still apply for that financial aid by completing that FAFSA, just to help make college a bit more affordable and again, accessible. I mentioned those scholarship areas. So these are different scholarship areas in our academic side. Of course, we have athletic scholarships as well. Our academic scholarships, the majority of those scholarships actually do not have a minimum ACT or GPA requirement. We do have a couple that do, math, science, and English. So those are the exception, but the other scholarships really require more of enrollment and participation in clubs and organizations in those areas. For example, you could have an art scholarship here at Highland, and perhaps you're not an art major, but art is something that you enjoy studying and learning more about and growing in that area. So that could be your academic scholarship that will cover your tuition and your book rental here at Highland. So lots of great opportunities for students to get involved and then also to make college very affordable. So down the road, if you do decide to start with us working on that associate degree and then transfer on to another college or university to earn that bachelor's and perhaps beyond, you can save a little money up front by starting with us and not incur much debt in your transfer over your college career. So housing. All of our housing is apartment style, so that's a really wonderful opportunity. I'm going to go ahead to our floor plans for our apartments. So you can see the most abundant floor plan that we have on our campus is the 2-bedroom apartment, that campus apartment. So typically 4 students per apartment in that scenario, 2 people per bedroom, and then all 4 students share their common living spaces. So that's a really wonderful opportunity to kind of have that first step out the door and move into your own apartment and get to experience life on college in that supported environment. We do have single occupancy bedrooms available as well, that bottom right floor plan. So the way that works for us, still apartment style, and you each have your own bedroom. And then again, the 4 of you share those common spaces. So that's kind of how that single occupancy works. So student life. Very important to us as well. We want students to not only excel in the classroom, but we also want you to have a great experience outside the classroom and make those lifelong friendships. So you can see just a snippet of some of the different activities and events that we host here on campus. The slip and slide is always a really fun event that kicks our year off. Grocery bingo. Who doesn't love groceries? You know, a free huge basket full of groceries if you win. So that's always kind of fun. And then we have some intramurals, and intramurals come with, if you win, great bragging rights. So you get to wear that t-shirt, championship t-shirt with pride around campus. Have a lot of fun while doing it. A few other opportunities here on campus to get involved are our clubs and organizations. So again, those could be in your major area or just other areas that you have same interests. And so a great way to make connections. We do have technical hands-on options as well, and we're kind of special because students can live in our housing and also get that hands-on technical training. So if that's something that you'd like to learn more about, I'd be happy to help you. I did mention online, that same rate, no matter where you are located, you can take our classes with us for that $120 a credit hour with the same great competencies that you're learning face-to-face or online. So lastly, what's next? If you would like any additional information, you can always request information online. We'd love to have you visit any of our locations. I think that's always a great way just to decide if we're a good fit for you. And applying is free for us. So you can go online and apply anytime and we'll follow up with you from there. So thanks. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you very much. All right, next we're going to have Westminster College.
Hi guys, thank you guys for joining us today. My name is Lane Hume. So I am the regional admissions counselor for Little Rock. I live in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I work for Westminster College. So bear with me for 1 second while I start sharing my screen. All right, so what you guys are looking at here is the heart of our campus. So we are a small private liberal arts school located in central Missouri. Our claim to fame is that we are where Winston Churchill gave the Iron Curtain speech, which was, arguably the most important speech of that century and a big part of our history as well. So in honor of Churchill, we have a Christopher Wren Church on campus. That's what you're looking at there. It's almost 600 years old. We do utilize it for chapel services on campus, even though we are not a religious institution. And in the basement of that building is a multi-million-dollar museum. So we actually get travelers and visitors from all around the world, which is a really unique flair on our campus. We also have the largest piece of the Berlin Wall in North America as well, which is what you see on the left-hand side of that picture. So we really have a unique vibe to our campus, even though we are a small school, because we have a lot of extra traffic through campus that are not just students. So here are some fast facts about Westminster. So we do have a 98% success rate, which means 98% of our students are either working in their field or in graduate school within 6 months of graduation. We have a 10-to-1 student-teacher ratio. We do something called the Hancock Symposium every single fall. So we actually just did this last week. We cancel classes for 2 full days, and we bring in speakers and influential people from all around the world to give presentations. Some of them are interactive, some of them are lecture style. We pick a specific topic every year, but just to kind of give you guys an idea of who those types of speakers are. Last year, our keynote speaker was Jim Green, the chief scientist of NASA. And then the year before that, our keynote speaker was Madeleine Albright, the first female Secretary of State to the United States. What's cool is that at Westminster, being a smaller student body, you really get one-on-one time with these individuals. So we have students that interview them for the paper or maybe have lunch with them or are part of the welcoming crew. So it's not like going to an institution where you're sitting in a huge auditorium with 10,000 people watching these people speak and interact. It really is a more intimate experience. We also do what's called an undergraduate scholars forum. So we cancel classes again for a day in the spring semester in May, and our students are encouraged to present the research they've been doing that year. So they present to their fellow students, other professors, and it's really cool because we actually have quite a few students who are published in an undergraduate setting, which is pretty unusual. And then just a fun thing, the Smithsonian picked Fulton, which is the town we're located in, as a Smithsonian top 15 best small town, which is pretty fun. And just geographically, so you guys know, we're right between Jefferson City and Columbia and about an hour and 15 minutes from St. Louis. So these are some of our top programs of study. This is not a comprehensive list though. So we're really known for our pre-med track sciences, primarily because we actually offer a cadaver lab to undergraduates. So we're only an undergrad institution, so our students aren't competing with graduate students to have access to those labs. We have 3 bodies donated to our campus every year. They're housed in our science lab, and our students do a full human anatomy, which really prepares you well for med school. Pre-law is extremely popular because we actually offer a pre-law minor. And then some of our other notable programs that are really kind of unique to us are security studies, One Health. We just added a mathematical data science program, and then a self-design major. So being a small school, our students have a really in-depth relationship with their faculty advisor. And if a student decides they just don't have that perfect major that they really feel confident in, they can actually create their own and they get to name it themselves as well. We do have an honors program, and then we also have a really in-depth learning differences program too. We were only the second school in the entire country to start a learning differences program. So we've been doing this since the 1960s. So we specialize in creating a really successful academic and social environment for students who have anything from dysgraphia, dyslexia, autism spectrum, and we have one-on-one counselors to help students. Here's some of our student life at Westminster. So our housing is quite nice. We do a freshman quad, but then as an upperclassman, you always live in a townhome or an apartment and have your own room. We offer study abroad. We have tons of clubs and organizations. One really cool one that I like to talk about that's really unique to us is the Blue Blazers. So this is an investment club. We have a stock portfolio that's valued at over $1 million, and it's entirely run by students. They buy, sell, trade all the stocks, and then go up to New York City every 2 years and open the stock exchange. We do have NCAA Division III athletics, and we do have a football team, which is nice for a small school. And then we have Greek life as well. So we have 3 sororities and 6 fraternities. So in my last minute, I'm going to kind of go over visiting and applying. Visiting is really easy to do. You can do a virtual visit, but you can also come to our Welcome to Westminsters, which are weekend visits, or individual tours anytime, even on the weekend. Our fall 22 application is completely free. We do accept the Common App, and we do rolling admissions. So we review weekly and we get back to you weekly as well. We are test optional as well, so you do not have to have a test score. And your scholarships are still awarded even without those test scores. So every single student submitted is going to get some type of academic scholarship. And then lastly, here is my contact information. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of that or take a snap of it with your cell phone, my cell phone on there is my work cell phone. So I jokingly say I'm a real human. You can text me anytime. I promise it's not a text bot. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. And I hope you guys have a great school year.
All right, thank you so much, Westminster. Now we're going to have Sarah from Sacred Heart University.
Thanks, John. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Sarah Kolaski. I am the Regional Director of Admissions for Sacred Heart University. I'm actually based in Denver, Colorado, and would be your direct point of contact should you have any interest in applying to Sacred Heart down the line. To get started, Sacred Heart is a mid-sized Catholic university. We are just an hour and a half outside of New York City by train and about 2.5 hours to Boston. Also being located in the third most concentrated area of Fortune 500 companies. Our internships are readily available for our students, and all of our majors require at least one internship to graduate. So it's a really great area. I would say Fairfield is probably the last commuter setting for families that do work in New York. So you get this really unique balance of a quintessential New England college town and also have the opportunity to experience the urban life not too far away. We're near all major airports, and you'll learn a lot about public transit as the trains directly take you towards campus. We're sort of a hybrid of liberal arts meets career education. So whilst most students do come in undecided, we do have a lot of those career and service-oriented focused majors. Most popular on our campus include direct entry nursing, which you can apply for as a high school senior. We're one of few colleges to offer a 6-year doctorate of physical therapy, as well as a traditional 7-year track. We also have majors in occupational therapy, athletic training, physician assistant, and a lot more. Of the 60 undergraduate programs we do offer, 40 of which have a combined or accelerated option. And we're seeing about 40% of our student body come back to a Sacred Heart program. Yes, we are a Catholic institution. We were founded by the Archdiocese of Bridgeport. Shortly after our founding, we did become independent. So this means that we don't have religious requirements for our students. It's most certainly there if you want to continue practicing your respective faith at any level. Our campus ministry is actually run by a priest, rabbi, and imam. So really emphasize that intersectionality. I really think the big takeaway from our commitment to the faith is our commitment as a campus in community service. We have all different kinds of partnerships, both locally and globally. And Habitat for Humanity is our largest student-run club of all the clubs and activities that we do have. So if you're looking for that balance, where you're not having to go to mass every day, the name makes us sound a little bit more Catholic than we actually are. But we are in a really pivotal growth phase. We are one of top 10 fastest growing Catholic colleges in the country right now, growing in all different majors. As I mentioned, health professions is kind of our most popular, but the top 5% of internationally accredited business schools in the world. We're top 20 in the country for our commitment to community service, as I mentioned, as well as our game design, our performing arts programs. And I've had high accolades on passing those important exams that you need in order to continue on with that higher learning. So it's a great time to come in. We're recognizing that return on investment. Most students who are applying to Sacred Heart are often thinking about their 5- and 6-year plan, just because you do get that priority consideration in our graduate studies. You can start taking classes in your junior and senior years of undergrad, and pending your academic success, you could actually receive an assistantship, so paying those master's years forward. Campus looks completely different than it did even 10 years ago. In the last 8 years, we've had 16 new buildings introduced to campus, including some of the newest dormitories in the country. My freshmen have the opportunity to live in 3 of 5 new freshman dorms that have been built in the last 3 years. We built out additional athletics and recreation centers, areas for performing arts. We have a traditional East Coast style diner as a dining option on our campus, one of 3 college campuses in the country to have a 1950 style diner as a meal option. We also acquired GE's former headquarters, which has been this really innovative hub for all of our engineering, business, technology, cybersecurity programming. My undecided engineers, you have the opportunity to come work in an 11,000 square foot makerspace, AI labs, game design labs, etc. as soon as you walk in the door. So it is a really exciting time to branch out into some of our new and innovative majors. Stuff that's not even on this list, and it's fresh off the press. We broke ground on our ice hockey arena, which is going to be set to complete in 2023. That's going to just further growth in our Division I and our club sports. We do have a new music major and a new women's wrestling program, one of 5 programs, Division I programs in the country that have a female head coach. So it's a really exciting time to be part of that community too. And finally, I just want to show our application process. We are in the Common App. We just ask for your transcript and a letter of recommendation. We are test optional for all of our programs, including direct entry nursing. The ranges are listed on the slide here. If you want to go test optional, that's completely fine. I would also encourage you to either reach out to me directly about an interview opportunity, or if you do have the chance to visit campus, we are offering limited in-person visits for this semester. But feel free to reach out if you have any questions moving forward. Thanks so much for your time.
Sarah, thank you so much for the information. Next, we're going to have Amanda from University of Alabama.
Thank you, John. Great. Well, thank you all for being here this afternoon. I'm excited to be here to tell you a little bit more about the University of Alabama. As John mentioned, my name is Amanda Sisk. I am a regional recruiter with the university. Now, for those of you who don't know too much about UA so far, we are a larger public research institution. We are located in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So we might be a little bit farther from home, but you definitely get that added benefit of some warmer weather throughout the year once you make that farther trip. We're a smaller city, definitely have that college town feel, college town excitement in Tuscaloosa. We have hundreds of restaurants, shops, historical sites, museums, and parks nearby. So while as a student, you'll be busy on campus, a lot of our students definitely like to get off campus and explore campus town, downtown, take advantage of some outdoor activities as well nearby campus. Now on campus this year, we have just over 38,000 students. And I think that one of the really neat aspects of our student body is kind of just where everyone comes from. About 57% of our student body is from outside the state of Alabama. So you're really going to get to meet a lot of different students from different places with different backgrounds, different interests on campus itself. Now we are proud of our students both in and out of the classroom. This year, UA boasts 940 National Merit Scholars on campus, which is a record for us. And outside the classroom, our students are getting involved on campus and in the local community with 1 million hours of community service hours logged this past year. Now at Alabama, you're going to find a really great mix between some great strong academic programs, as well as a really fun campus life to be a part of. We currently have over 200 academic programs on our campus, and we also have some unique programs like our Accelerated Master's program and our STEM Path to the MBA, which allows students to complete both their undergrad as well as their graduate degrees in a shortened time period. We have a lot of students too that will look at something like our Honors College on campus. That's a great way to find that smaller community feel while still being on our larger research campus. Now, we want to make sure that our students are successful both in and out of the classroom at Alabama, and we provide some really great campus resources for them, including areas like advising, tutoring, career resources. This past year, we were ranked first in the SEC and second in the nation for internship placement. So we work really hard to make sure that our students are prepared for their next steps, whether they be finding that internship or job opportunity or looking at professional graduate school as well too. Now, outside the classroom, I think that one of Alabama's strengths is definitely our campus life and our campus environment. It's just a really exciting campus life to be a part of. We have a huge sense of campus pride and campus spirit. Even in your home areas, you might hear a roll tide every once in a while, and I think it just makes it, a fun, exciting environment to be a part of. But I think overall, it's easy to get to meet new people on campus and join in on some new activities. We currently have over 600 student organizations on campus. We have a really great Greek community. We have a large recreation program. And we have a full events calendar throughout the year for you. A big part of campus life is really also living on campus, and we do require our freshmen to live on campus their first year. Now, for those of you thinking of applying to Alabama, we are test optional for our 2022 students. And there's two ways that you can apply to Alabama, either through our application on our website or through the Common App. So in addition to the application, students will also be required to submit their official high school transcripts to Alabama, as well as test scores if you're choosing to submit those to us. We do have a holistic review process in place for 2022 students. So we'll be reviewing both your academic information as well as non-academic criteria, things like activities, leadership, volunteer work, employment, honors and awards that we ask for on the application itself. We are on rolling admissions as well, but we do encourage everyone to meet our January 15th priority scholarship deadline in order to be considered for any of our competitive scholarships. Now, a great thing to know about the University of Alabama is that we do have some different types of scholarships out there, and we have some really great scholarships for out-of-state students. We have both our automatic merit-based scholarships, which are based on both a GPA and a test score. They range up to $28,000 per year. And we also have some great competitive admission scholarships. These ones are going to focus on GPA as well as your activities and what you've been involved in throughout high school. Those scholarships will range up to full tuition scholarships. Now, aside from those, we do also have some really great national merit, national recognition scholarship opportunities, which will go past the value of tuition. Now, overall on campus right now, for our out-of-state students, the cost of tuition, fees, room and board is just under $45,000. So aside from scholarships, definitely know that we also do offer financial aid, and we have a December 1st priority deadline for our financial aid. Now, I hope that you are considering a visit to campus, so that you can see our campus in person, check out Tuscaloosa as well too. We are currently offering our in-person opportunities, either our weekly tours Monday through Friday, we have tours going on, or some of our larger visit days called University Days. In addition, we do still have some really great virtual opportunities as well too. So before you can even check campus out in person, we hope you'll check out those virtual visits. Now I have my contact information up here along with two of our other recruiters, Jennifer and Abby, who work with students from Nebraska and Oklahoma. So please definitely feel free to reach out to any of us with any questions that you have, but we look forward to working with you all this year. Now I will turn it back over to John. Thank you.
All right, Amanda, thank you so much for the great information about Alabama. Now to finish up our time, I would love all the reps to come back, and we have enough time for at least one more question. Put a question out for y'all to answer, kind of give people some parting words of advice before we finish up. And the question that I'm giving to you all to give some people advice is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And if we could answer the question in the order that we presented, starting off with Creighton first and Christopher.
Excuse me, thanks, John. My biggest piece of advice would be to prioritize happiness, fulfillment, and growth over rankings, selectivity, and prestige.
Yeah, I think my piece of advice would be to take advantage of your admissions counselor. I think all of my colleagues on the call would agree today that we are here to help you and help your families. We are most knowledgeable about our own institutions, but we also have a variety of connections. So if we are working with you and you realize that our institution might not be the best fit for you, we might be able to help point you in a better direction too. So definitely take advantage of us and our knowledge and our ability to help you and your family.
My biggest bit of information or request, I guess, would be to visit. I would encourage you to do that. That's how you can really kind of get a feel for campus. You can kind of see students on campus and how they interact with one another. And you can kind of pause on campus and just decide, does this look like a good fit for me? Do I think I would fit in here? So as you meet staff and faculty around campus, I think you can kind of then start to decide and maybe even just narrow it down to make a good choice for you.
I always give like two little pieces of advice. The first one's logistical. If you guys have not started submitting information like your email to colleges, go to Gmail and create your own college account for the whole college application process. So first name, last name, college at gmail.com, and only use that. It'll make your life so easy because we send a lot of emails. Sometimes you get emails that are important like scholarship applications. And so it'll keep everything in one place and you're not digging around through your personal email or your school email trying to find that stuff. And then the other piece of advice is create a short list of things that you know you want, things you won't compromise on, and then refer back to that list when you're picking a school. It'll keep you on track for the right place for you instead of picking a college that because your friends are going or your mom or dad wants you to go. Because if you do those types of things, what happens is you end up on campus and you realize that it's just not the right fit for you. So stick to your guns and what you want and what's good for you, and you'll be somewhere that you'll be happy.
Yeah, my piece of advice comes towards the end of the process as you're finalizing your decision. And kind of to echo what Dakota said, we are counselors. We're here to support you. We are counselors first. So we really want to make sure that you are finding the right fit. Otherwise, we know that we won't have that retention down the line. But if you are no longer interested in us, unsubscribe, send us a simple note and say, hey, thanks so much. I really appreciated working with you. Just because we are working with these populations and wanting to make sure that, again, we're targeting those who are likely to enroll at our universities too. And you can see that it's a very humanized process. So please do your due diligence and just let us know. You're not going to be offended if you're not coming to our school.
And I would say my biggest piece of advice, especially at this point for those of you starting your college search, is to just find a method of organization that works for you. It could be an Excel spreadsheet or something along those lines. As you can see, even with the colleges that you heard from today, there's a lot of different information and requirements and deadlines to keep track of. And we just want to make sure that you're not missing any of those. So definitely find that approach that works for you and how to stay organized in the college search.
All right, thank you all so much for that great information. That will help them out so much at all. And thank you all for attending this session as well. Remember, after you finish up this session, there'll be a quick survey that we'll want you to complete to give us feedback on how to make these events better. Also, don't forget to sign up for other sessions that we'll have coming up as well. And don't forget, if you want to record this session, it'll be available at strivescan.com/GPACAC. Representatives, thank you so much for giving your time today as well. And participants, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us as well. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Have a great day. Thank you all so much for coming. Have a good one.